In drifting, some people say a car is only as good as its driver. Others say a driver is only as good as their car. Either way, there's no arguing that if you combine a top-level driver with a top-level car, the sky's the limit. New Zealand's Redline Performance know the deal, so they decided to combine 2005 D1 NZ champion Adam Richards with one of the most full-house drift cars ever built, the HKS S15.
Hey, my name's Adam Richards and I'm 28 years old and I drive the NZ HKS S15 in New Zealand. I used to surf a bit and snowboard a lot and skate and ride BMXs and just do all that sort of stuff, but deep down I was just always a bit of a petrol head, even though my family is not that sort of background at all, you know. Got my first car and just started basically skidding that at every opportunity possible. Yeah, then drifting sort of came along and little did I know that me and my mates had actually kind of been drifting before we'd even heard of drifting. We just called it driving, you know, but we used to just go out and literally drift just for fun, you know, and then it actually started to develop into a sport, and yeah, I was just like, I've got to be in on this. This is me to a T, you know. So I'm a bit of a technical head at heart, and I'm quite into the technical side of cars and all that sort of thing. But on the other hand, yeah, it was loose enough and extreme enough and fun enough that it really looked like something I could get into, whereas traditional motorsport was a little bit too structured for someone like me, you know.
Redline Performance is the HKS distributor for New Zealand. When they sponsored Adam Richards, their mission was to have New Zealand's most hardcore drift car, taking inspiration from the legendary HKS D1 S15 from Japan.
Daryl from Redline sort of came up with the idea, well, you know, maybe we should punt it to them and see if we can build a, you know, get some HKS on board, sponsorship on board. And I was like, well, to me, I was like, hell yeah, sounds good, you know. And you know, the HKS guys from America come out and have a look, and came to Dodson's as well, where I'd been working on the Zafiro and doing all that sort of stuff. And I guess that, in conjunction with the fact that I just won the series, and Dodson's was a reputable motorsport established workshop, you know, and that we'll build it here and we'll do this and we'll do that, and then yeah, it'll just sort of panned out, you know.
All of the hard work paid off, with Adam securing a drive in the 2006 D1 All-Stars match in the USA.
But yeah, obviously the highlight for last year was going to the States, and that came about with competing in the D1 GP Driver Search Series, which they had here. Yeah, they basically just rung up about a month before and just said, do you want to go to the States? And I was like, yeah. And they said, your car's got to be ready to go in the container in a week, and I was like, okay. It was just insane to be sitting at the track with some of these cars and drivers that are basically heroes to me and a lot of other people, you know. It was just really cool, and to realise they're just dudes just like us, doing what they like doing just like us. So yeah, it was really cool.
So let's take a closer look at this weapon. The whole car was prepared from a bare shell, which was stripped back, seam welded, and fitted with a 15-point welded-in roll cage. A full D-Max body kit with Yoshio factory front guards and Race Pro fiberglass bonnet and boot was then fitted, before the car was resprayed in HKS red inside and out. Custom headlights to match the original HKS car were made up, and fellow drifter Mad Mike made up the HKS vinyl graphics. The biggest difference between this car and the original HKS Japan car is the rims, with Adam's car wearing work emotions in a staggered fitment of 17 by 9 up front and 18 by 10 at the rear. The interior is purely functional, with Racetech seats, harnesses, Sparco steering wheel and an AIM digital dash, providing Adam with all the information he needs. One area where this drift car differs from others is power, an abundance of it. How does just on 500 horsepower at the wheel sound? Now that's all well and good, but how did they make it reliable? Easy, by filling it with the HKS catalogue. The S13 block was stocked with HKS sleeves and a full HKS 2.2 litre stroker kit. Nismo bearings, HKS stud kit and a custom external oil pump setup add further reliability. The cleaned up head was filled with a full HKS Stage 3 head kit and sealed with an HKS metal head gasket and head studs. Providing the boost is an HKS turbo kit with 3037 turbo and 40mm external wastegate. It draws air through an HKS pod filter and cools through a, you guessed it, HKS intercooler kit.
I do all the work. I did the majority of the building of the car, and I still do all the maintenance and all the work on the car.
The exhaust is a full HKS titanium item. A Bosch 044 fuel pump feeds the HKS fuel rail, filled with HKS 620cc injectors and an HKS fuel reg. Cooling is aided by an HKS oil cooler kit and a custom alloy radiator and header tank. Split fire coil packs beef up the spark, and a top-level HKS FCON Pro V ECU and HKS EBC4 take care of the electronics. Getting that power to the ground is an ultra-cool HKS 5-speed sequential dog box with a Nismo twin-plate clutch and Nismo Pro LSD. The brakes were also beefed up with R32 GTR rotors and calipers all round, sporting braided lines.
05, which was obviously a good year for me, even though it was really tight between me and Sean Falconer. Just had an epic day at the final round. There was like I think we were tied actually, dead tied on points, and it came right down to the semi-finals, and then ended up winning on the day and winning the championship. So yeah, that was definitely, I would say, the best day of my life. It was good.
Like any pro drift car, the suspension is full house with HKS Hypermax D coilovers. Redline are distributors of D2 suspension products, so Adam's car is fitted with D2 adjustable caster, toe and traction rods, along with rear camber arms, tie rods and tie rod ends. With unrivaled build quality and top shelf parts, Adam Riches and the HKS S15 will be a winning combo for a while.